There's no racing background in our family. Dad used to keep a few brood mares just out of interest, really.
He was very keen on racing. He used to watch a lot of racing, and he was very interested in it. So when we started riding, he was only delighted to bring us around, but it was credit to him as well.
Eoin Staples, 24.
Eoin Staples, 20. We're both amateur jockeys.
We're in Andy Pearce's 3 days a week, and Andy and Paul Pearce, they're family-run operation, and they're very nice family.
We typically go there on Fridays. We've been in and out of there for the past probably 3 or 4 years, doing in evenings and schooling for Andy, and he's about 30 horses in there at the minute. Plenty nice horses, and there's a few we think a lot of. You'll see in the coming weeks.
Started in a riding school at 7, riding ponies and horses, jumping, and probably the first pony I got she was sold to us as a 3-year-old, but she turned out to be 2, so we used to bring her down there, and it was probably easier for the pony to run underneath the jumps than over the jumps for what we were trying to jump on her. And
then Sean's 4 years older than me, and I started riding when I was about 6 as well. Sean was I wanted to copy what Sean was doing my whole life, so I always looked up to him. We started in the pony club when we were about 8 or 9 when we went in there first, and we were there. We did summer camps and stuff the whole way up till we were about 12 or 13 or so.
And rallies on Fridays, we used to go every Friday. And actually there was jumping in Wexford Equestrian, I think it was every Wednesday night, and show jumping, and sure we could be down to jump off, could be at 12 o'clock at night, and sure we were just happy to be.
Yeah.
We might got a line in for school the next day if we were jumping late. So
yeah. We were happy enough.
It was a credit to Dad, really, like, for bringing us down, jumping ponies and all hours of the night, like trekking us around the country. There's a good team of people there, instructors, and it's a good place for bringing on young people. Like John Stafford actually had the hounds, the Kilkenny Harriers hounds, when we were hunting, and we jumped some savage trains, didn't we?
Yeah.
We crossed serious land with John Stafford.
That's where we kind of bit the boat with hunting and stuff. That's where we learned most of our stuff. We
jumping drains, double banks, and
fell off more times than we
got over them. It was more about a drive, like adrenaline, like jumping a bank. And there's a lot of jockeys come through the pony club, our pony club and our age group, that are riding at the minute. Barry Stone, Jack Hendrick, Tiernan Power,
Jamie Scallon.
There's
loads of good riders, and there's still good riders coming through too.
Connor Stonewalsh,
he's a bit younger than us.
Willie Bourne.
When we brought over our little pony, like she was class. She was like I remember going to the hunt chasing on Saturday and then going into do a dressage test on Monday. So she was versatile, and she taught us a lot.
She was green as league now.
She wasn't simple to ride either. Like you had to ride her. Like she wasn't your normal push button one. She probably had the ability to go SGI jumping, but we had more interest in running around fields and jumping banks and cross countries and stuff.
So at the time there was a few of our local jockeys around. They were riding at the time, Mark Scallon, Gary Murphy and Benny Welch. They used to bring us every Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, if we wanted to go racing when they were riding, and actually they used to talk horses the whole way down and the whole way back, and we loved it. Coming off school, we were going racing every weekend, and they were good to us too.
I had a nickname when I used to go with them. They used to call me 20 Questions. We used to go back into school on Monday and tell all my friends and the teacher what I did on Sunday going racing. And my nickname was 20 Questions anyway. I used to ask so many questions down for something to say the next day in school.
I started off riding racehorses in Michael Murphy's Redbridge Stables, and we had some brilliant times down there. He gave us horses to hunt, and we used to get Monday and Thursday off school to go hunting. Not every Monday and Thursday now, but we tried to get as many as we could off. And fairness, if we ever wanted a horse there, he'd give it to us. Like, but I first started on a racehorse down there, got the Graffer, schooling and riding work and jumping drains and jumping gates, whatever happened down there, it was good crack.
When ponies got too slow for me, I started down in John Welsh's and riding out Mandy Carl and going around the gallop and stuff, and kind of that's where it all started for her. There was brilliant lads down there as well. Gary Murphy was down there and Jody Hunt and John. They're all brilliant. They're all wanting to help you. They're all wanting you to progress and go on to the next stage, and that's where I learned to start. And I rode some nice horses down there too. They won a few banks races and stuff. Edinburgh King and stuff. They were down there and they're kind of stalwarts around here. They're kind of household names around our parish.
I'm in Andy Pearce's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm in Monbeg. Then I'm up with the Dials. Then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I ride out for Cormac and I do aiming in the afternoon, and I school a bit for Sean then as well.
I'm based in Colin Bowes mostly. I'm there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Saturday. I go to Andy Pearce's on Fridays, and I'm in Rob James's most evenings, and on Thursday evenings I go to Rob Tector's. I school for as many people as I can in between times as well.
He's going to take them through the early part, with right up early stages, Western Wishes and Sir Ollie. The Pierces down the inside as they stare.
When I was 13, I went to Galway after Tony Began for a month. I rode a few pony racers. I only had a handful of rides now, but I was looking up to get a winner in Lewisburg in Mayo on the beach. It was a 12-2 pony called Just for James. She went on to win the 12-2 in Dingle. So she was right up pony, and I think it was only her second or third run, and she was green, but the leader ran off the bend and I was left in front the whole time, so it was handy enough then for my first winner.
No competition. I spent 4 summers in Jocelyn Brains. I thought it was great. We went down there the first year. There was a good group of us down there from Wexford. Luke Murphy, Garrod Doyle, James Kenny, MJ Dorn was down there as well.
He's still down there as well, isn't he?
He's still down there, and 4 summers, tidied us up a good bit. Jocked up and tried to look the part. And when we come home then down to Michael Murphy's or somewhere, we get a lot of stick from sticking our arse up in the air going around thinking we're Carberry, but
Frankie Tory.
Yeah.
I spent 3 summers in Joss's. Don't ride 2-year-olds every day. You're not forced, but it takes the weight off the 2-year-olds back to get up after back and put your irons up, and I suppose that tidied us up a lot. I suppose we were always fairly concerned about our style starting off, and I think it was great that we did. We were always judging each other and trying to make each other better on our style, and I think it stands to us now. I think if you're not able to ride a horse, but if you look good on one, people might think you're able to ride or something.
we both went to St. Peter's College, and Asher Hurling's massive in there. Every lunchtime you'd bring a hurling to the alleys. There's alleys in there, and you'd hurl away for the whole lunch. You mightn't even get any lunch. It was just a big hurling school. There was an equestrian team in there as well.
We both competed with them. We both did All-Ireland Hunter Trails with Peters, and we did show jumping with Peters as well. Obviously a great grounding as well. All the staff in there were brilliant.
Sean O'Keefe was in there. He was on the same show jumping team as me in there. Patrick Whelan is a good adventure rider. He was in there on the same team. Paddy Hamilton is another chap that used to ride, a good rider as well. They all done an event in Ireland, and
we learned lots off them, I suppose, as well. Showing horses, and we were kind of more for speed now, but the lads were more into the show jumping and stuff. For sure, that obviously helped us as well.
I done 4 years in UCD. I have a degree in ag science, and during college I used to go out and ride out for Peter Flood whenever I could or whenever I got the chance. Go out to meet him in screen gallops or go out to his home place in school, and live with Michael O'Sullivan. Sure, the two of us kind of bounced off each other. We'd come home from racing at the weekend or go back up to college and we'd bounce off each other on the couch talking about what happened or who got a fall or who rode winners, and that was basically the 4 years in UCD, was talking about horses.
My stint in college didn't last long. I was nearly up there as quick as I was down. We used to go to Colin Bowles on Tuesdays and head up to college then on Wednesdays to Friday. I used to tell Mum I used to go from Wednesdays to Fridays. But it was different scenery up there. It probably wasn't for me. I wouldn't be interested in books now as much as Sean would be, but
my first ride was for Sean Doyle in a 4-year-old maiden in Courtown. As it panned out, I think the race didn't divide or something, and Sean said he'd run the horse anyway. So I had no gear, I hadn't even a helmet or nothing, so I ended up getting all the gear borrowed on the day, and sure got a spin around in it, and that was my first ride in the Hindpoint. It happened all of a sudden. I rode my first winner in 2018 in Linkstown on a mare called Redbridge Gold from Michael Murphy, and I think it was on my 11th ride. So actually I beat Jamie Codd in the finish, which is really, I love that part of it because Jamie was an idol of mine and still is, and he's training horses now at the minute. He's doing a good job. So no, that was my first winner.
I actually led him up, and sure, all of our family was down there, and we were all delighted for him. And I was looking up at him and thinking, "Gee, this is my brother, like riding winners."
Three mares. Galway's Theatre is in third. They're following the inside one for Daisy. Wilder still on the outside as what?
My first ride was for Richie O'Keefe on Swallows Court on Cork Racecourse. We were racing in Cork Racecourse because of COVID. So I used to school Swallows Court a bit before he ran, and then I got my licence in March, and Richie said I could ride him in my first point to point. My first winner was in April 2023 on a mare called Getaway Theatre for Andy Pearce. I rode her on her first run, and she was 4, but she made a bad mistake at third last. I thought it was in with a good chance that day. So going to Rakan, I was hopeful. I would have been disappointed if it wasn't in the shake-up anyway.
I remember him coming up the straight in front and I was shouting and roaring after that. It was a big blur, but yeah, it was good to see him riding his first winner.
And it's going to score here in good style, take some mares.
I play GA for St Anne's GA club. I play with Mikey Fogarty and Johnny Fogarty, and they're all into horses, and we have a good chat and training and stuff. And it's Red Barry there. He rode in a charity race and he breeds a few mares and stuff. So it's training is fairly horsey talk.
So I've ridden 25 winners so far. I was lucky enough to win on a couple of good horses as well. Cork Rambler is probably the most notable one. He was only trained a mile down the road by John Welsh, and I was lucky enough to win on him in a 6-year-old novice riders race in Monk's Grange on his 4th run, I think. And another horse I rode was Slade Steel. He looks an exciting prospect for this year. Journey with Me is a graded performer. And there's a few other good horses there too. I'll stay amateur for the foreseeable. I'm probably with the plan to maybe go pre-training, or there's a farm here at home, so we're lucky that way we'll use the land.
I've ridden 5 winners so far in my career. My weight is quite good at the minute, so down the line the plan is to turn professional. I'm doing a gentleman's league in the summer, and my first ride in the league is in Cork on the 21st of March, and then I go to Pardubice in October. There's a meeting for it in France as well, but that's not guaranteed rides. But still, it'll be a great experience to go over to them places and ride.
This time, 100 wins for Eoin Staples.
It's hard to get rides on the track or in bumpers, like when you're not in yards. We're mainly in point yards is what we do, like. And it's just hard to bridge that gap to get in on the track rides. It's hard.
Yeah, like it's even hard to get outside rides in points. You know, if you're nearly every yard has their own jockey now, and you know they ride for them, and so you can't really ring them to for a ride because they're kind of already sorted. And then for the track, like it's the same. If you're riding on the track, everyone knows the riders that ride on the track, and it's hard to get in there and break into that bracket, like.
We go racing every day together, really, don't we? Like,
yeah.
We go racing. Yeah. Most meetings we go racing together.
If we're going to one meet, we go the same.
We haven't got into a finish yet now together.
We've run a couple of races with each other, alright, but we haven't been in a finish.
Yeah, but there'd be no inch given now if the two of us were in a finish together.
Just how to go out with the pram now. The last move, I won't be pulling back in it.
Hasn't happened yet, but it will.